Welcome back to today's video. I'm going to be playing City Skylines, and in today's video I'm going to be switching up a bit, and instead of having the normal thing where I have an intro, time-lapse, and an outro where I normally do something or explain what I do, I'll just have a time-lapse, and I'll be explaining what I am doing throughout the time-lapse with a voiceover. And so, make sure to comment down below if you like this over the other, or if you like the other, like I have been doing my City Skylines videos for a while. So I mean, if you do like that, make sure to comment down below and say if you like that over this, or if you like this one better, comment down below that. And so this way I'll have your feedback, and I can go where I want to go from there, and then everyone will be happy. But so basically, this episode is going to come down to me expanding my residential areas to get more jobs for workers, and then also getting some more commercial, which needs a lot of employees. So the next episode we're probably going to be ending up making a city with skyscrapers, or well, not necessarily skyscrapers, but taller buildings that will house a whole lot of people. Since we'll be able to unlock the university and also the crematorium, so this way we can get rid of some dead bodies, because we're kind of stuck with a whole lot of those. To where the bottleneck's kind of done with our cemeteries. But that's besides the point. But that's probably what the next episode's going to be, is us building the city up. But so basically I'm just working on kind of copying what I've done in Autumn Hills in that first beginning part, with adding more residential area, and then I basically just end up wanting to copy Elk Park, which basically I'm more so just expanding onto them. And then I do add a connection to the viaduct, or well, highway that I made, and that will eventually connect to the highway that's just to the left here. It is connected to our farming industry, but now people are actually using it because they can quickly get to one side to the other side of the town, and a lot quicker than taking the main road. They can just take that and they'll be on the other side real quick. And so basically that's getting used a whole lot more because of me doing that. But basically I just placed down the cemetery here because, like I said, the body's problem and that there's a lot of death. So they kind of just solve that. And honestly, I was kind of hoping to get the 18,000 I need for the crematorium. That didn't exactly happen. We got up to 12,000 before I got off to edit and record this overlay. But that is probably what I have to say about that first beginning part. And I mean, as you can see, these cemeteries are just full. And I mean, nothing that I can really do about it because the bodies will just get transferred around cemeteries until I get a crematorium, which is why I said that we're probably going to work on getting more residential in the next episode or two, including this one. Especially since we do need that increased population. Well, I'll probably end up placing down a temporary university until we can build our campus up. And that'll be obviously its own separate episode. But so here, I just wanted to make a nice square, and then have it somewhat loosely copy what I did in just to the other side of the road of it. In terms of that inside of its square box that I made, using the somewhat semi-detached grid system. Basically exactly what I did in the other, square just across the street. But, that is what I ended up doing there. And then, really, I think, well, basically now it just came down to me laying down the water pipes, and then power would just go across, and then letting people move in fully and getting everything through. And so that basically is what this ended up coming down to right about here. And then basically just in all of those areas it just came down to me building in residential areas. And then it came down to now, well, expanding onto the areas. And so in here I originally put Elk Park, but then I decided to make it its own zone on the other side to the just right of it, but across of the last place that I built in. That one I end up just placing in over the same zone from before that I had with the similar layout. And another reason why I'm doing that is this way we can get some more of our farmer products out to the city, because there's a large bottleneck with crops, and the local produce buildings will be able to take that, which is what is on that zone. And so, I mean, that would end up solving the bottleneck, which I do believe that it basically solved the whole entire bottleneck there. So now it basically isn't anything crazy. Of course, that could just be for reasonings that you'll see later in the video. I mean, later in the video, like in a minute or two. Not even a minute or 2 minutes. Probably less than a minute. But, basically here is just when I put in the, connections for the viaduct. And then basically right around here I plan on building a roundabout and then lowering down the built-in highway. And then a roundabout going at the ground level, and then this will go over, and then they'll have their connections going in and out around the roundabout, and then it will be a way for this side of the highway to be able to connect into this side of the town, and also be able to get onto the viaduct to get wherever they need to be. And then we'll also have the main connection that came originally with the city. But basically I just filled that in with some businesses, and then that basically just what that came down to. And then here I just built a bridge to go over the highway here, because, well, I mean, for expanding over here, which is where we will need to expand, because that's the only place so we can get an outside connection for trains. I will need to do that, and then also over there is probably about where we're going to put the city. But so now it will come into play why I placed down all of those local produce stuff and put the zone over it, is because now we're upgrading the fields to large fields, fruit fields and crop fields, instead of these a whole ton of small ones, just 2 large ones. And that is basically all of them. And then I did get rid of the ones on the sides this way. It didn't make it weird, and it didn't look as horrible as it would have with them there. But that's basically what I just did with the farm, and then I just changed them to the crops that I had them set to, which is apples there, pears there, or oranges, pears on this side, and then over here we had wheat, potatoes, and then cotton and corn. And then I believe that will be it for this episode. I hope that you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. But this is basically just it for what I built in. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.